Good morning. I know I'm a little earlier today. I have a lot of errands I need to do today. Let me just quickly post the links in the comments. Come on. There we go. Wednesday was my day for errands, but it was pouring rain and my fatigue was bad. And then I ended up staying in, which was really glad. And then I stayed in Thursday. And so today I have to do it. So I thought I'm just going to hop on and we're going to start a little bit earlier today and get done earlier because I have a lot to do today. So welcome, Ken. Now you don't need to be watching this. This is a makeup moment for women. So you just tootle on by. This is not a dating site. Now, while everybody is hopping on, I'm going to start with my eye cream. Oh, before we even do that, take your mascara and sit on it. And it'll warm things up because it's, I've got a cold wall it's against, and it'll just make things flow a little simpler here today. All right. Let me just check something here. Okay, let's carry on. It's a gorgeous day today, so it's a perfect day to do errands. Now, I'm putting on my eye cream, which I so desperately needed. I've had a lot of eye issues in the month of December, and it's almost healed up. It's not totally gone. It's a dry eye syndrome. Boy, I'm getting down and it's quite thick. And so I'm using my ring fingers, and this has ginseng and green tea extract, which is all going to help. You're going to see an immediate effect with starting to tighten the skin, but it's also going to have a long-term effect. And what's the other ingredients is sodium hyaluronate, which our bodies produce and then they stop producing or reduce producing as we age. And that's what plumps our cells and keeps our cells hydrated. And so as that diminishes, we end up with the wrinkles because of the shriveling of our cells. So this eye cream is amazing. And so after all of my swelling from my eye issues, I must keep doing this studiously because I need to get that to shrink back as much as I can. So today is a really romantic, soft, thank goodness it's Friday, cozy up look. It's going to be very, very easy, and we all need that in our arsenal. And so I am using the cream shadows, and I'm using the color Jubilant. And it's this beautiful dusty rose, soft dusty rose. And it's going to go, actually it'll go with anything, any eye color. It's really, really easy. And so you want to use the cream shadow brush because it's kind of like a mousse. And it goes on creamy and it dries to a powder. And so I'm starting with my eyes, although this won't give me any fallout. I could start with my foundation today, but you know, you get into that habit. Oh, no, before, back the truck up. Forgot my primer. Hello, Amit, welcome. Nice to see you. So say hello, gorgeous, and then I know everybody's here. Because when it just says you're watching, then it goes away, and it's just nice to know that you were here. So I am putting on eye cream. So today I'm telling you, even though your makeup is simple and easy, you want it to stay on. Who wants to do this, spend money and take the time to put makeup on and then it end up falling off by the end of the day or halfway through the day? So the things that are going to help you for your makeup to stay on, number one is eye primer, which I just applied. It's it's going to be, you can't use face primer either. You need to use eye primer. It's a totally different product that's going on your eyes, and it's so it needs a different primer. And the eye primer is actually a little bit tackier, so it's going to help it to grab onto your eyeshadow and it'll stay. It also has the effect of keeping the colors true and not turning into mud when you're blending them. It's amazing. So eye primer is number one to keeping your makeup on. The second thing is your face primer. So I'm using the mattifying face primer. I am loving it. And the reason why I really like this primer, and you hardly need any, just using that for my whole face. And it fills in the fine lines and pores, and it's going to give you a smoother surface for your foundation. And it's also going to, same thing, keep your makeup on. It acts as a little bit of a barrier too for your oils coming through. So it's just a multi-purpose. And for years and years, I never used eye primer. And no wonder, you know, my makeup was almost all off by 2 o'clock. And then, you know, bedtime, there was hardly any there. You'd be tempted to not wash your face because you hardly had any makeup on. Of course, I never did. I was very, very studious. So normally you'd like to put this on and let it sit for at least a minute. So I'm not able to do that, but I'm going right in now with my eyes. So again, I'm using Jubilant, and it's our, what do they call this? Anyway, they're cream shadows. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful. And this one is just such a really neutral look, and it's perfect for a Friday, even though I am doing errands. So you just need to take a little bit on your cream shadow brush, and I'm just going to you always want to start not at the top working down. You want to start at the bottom, close to your eyelash, work up. Because if you start up high, and then you end up, and when you blend, it's just going to get higher, and you can't take that without taking off all your makeup again and then repriming. So it's easy to start at the bottom, and you can work your way up, and then you can apply more as you need it. So just going to, I had to shut the blinds, so it's a little darker here because the sun was shining right in. And I'm just going to actually just sort of sweep press it on. And you can see it's such a soft, pretty color. My hair is wild today. I love it. I'm playing with it. I get playing with it too much, and I pick through it. Well, then that takes the curl out and makes it a little frizzier. It's like I don't have a strong curl. It's a very soft curl. And then I'm going to take, you could use your fingers. I'm just going to take a fluffy crease brush, could be a crease brush, and I'm just going to buff out the edges and soften the edges. I mean, this is your easiest makeup day. All right, maybe I will put a clip in my hair. Let's hope it doesn't. There we go. I need one for the other side. I only have one clip. You can see I burnt my forehead the other day. Now I'm just going to put a little bit more on the outer edge. And just blend that. There we go. I mean, it is such a simple day. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome, Marlene. This is an easy eye day, easy makeup day. Anybody can do this. So I ended up, when I was home, normally I do my errands Wednesday and Thursday, or one or the other, or both, and I didn't. The weather was not great, and my fatigue was bad, and I had a bunch of troubleshooting phone calls to do. And I was thinking, no wonder I can't get caught up. With COVID, it's been really a challenge because a lot of businesses, you can't find anybody to talk to. You have to email, so everything takes longer. And so I'm just applying, by the way, Jubilant Cream Shadow. It is such a soft, pretty color called Jubilant. It's like a dusty rose, and it goes on a cream. It's like this moussey cream, and it dries to a powder. Now, I have a little bit of a hooded eye, so I'm looking with my eyes and I see that I want to apply a little bit more right there, just to make them. All right. I'm not even going to do eyeliner today. That's how easy it's going to be. Done. Isn't that pretty? Now, doesn't look so good without the makeup and the rest of it, but welcome, Tracy. Hello, gorgeous. So I was saying how when you're with COVID, we're always trying to, oh, by the way, I'm sitting on my mascara, getting it warmed up, getting it ready for lashes, and now I'm going to use, I wanted to use spray foundation, which is really nice because, especially when you're out all day wearing a mask, it really is a great one for not transferring. But I haven't used, I'm always trying to rotate them up so that if you have one or the other, then it just reassures you how to use it again. So I thought, okay, I will use my liquid, and the reason why I'm not too concerned about it, it won't come off because I've used primer on my face on how to keep your makeup on all day, and this is the eye primer and face primer, and then the third thing is to use setting powder, which is going to keep the oils from your body breaking down your makeup, seeping through and breaking down. And when that does start to happen through the day, just reapply your setting powder and last a setting spray. Hello, Bev Mix. I'm so glad to see you. Hello, gorgeous. So now you need a kabuki brush. And this is really, honestly, the best brush I have ever had. And I've bought a lot, trust me. Spent a lot of money. They're very, very expensive, but having the right tools makes all of the difference in the world. And the kabuki brush you can use for applying our spray foundation, the stick foundation. It just gives you this beautiful, smooth finish. And so it's so easy with this because I am just going to put about 4 drops right onto the brush and then just start stippling it on. And now I'm just going to stipple and blend. I've started using a little bit of a tanning cream. It's actually drops that you add to your foundation. Or not foundation, I'm looking at what I'm doing. You add it to your moisturizer. And I did it last night and the night before, and it gave me some color. I just didn't want to be that white anymore. And it's so easy. You just put like a drop. I might have put a couple drops in, so it might have given me a lot. No, actually it's not too bad. Just not so white. And I love it. So now I'm using my spring summer color eyelet. And I'm just going to do half just to show you. Well, see, yeah, it's all blended. It's just such a beautiful, I didn't do my eyes. I was thinking, contemplating. Okay, look. Compared to that, what a difference, eh? Just making you look smooth and healthy. So now I'll do the other side. Same thing. I guess I will put concealer on. Just to lighten up. I still have some redness from that. It's going away. My eyes still hurt a little bit, like as if I've just poked them. So very, very bizarre. But as I was saying about COVID, one thing that's made an issue is, I just have some. Got something on my skin there. Is reaching people and getting things done. Good morning. Hello, gorgeous. Susan, welcome. So I was doing some troubleshooting phone calls. And while I'm on the phone, I mean, it took a couple of hours. While it was with, I think it was with QuickBooks, my accounting software program that I'm doing online. Just taking a bit more for my forehead and my, hopefully. Now this liquid foundation is about a medium coverage, light to medium. And so you can see, if you want more coverage, just go over it a second time, but I'm just going to do that today. So I'm on the phone with them, which is, it ended up, after the couple of hours, it ended up having to go escalated to a senior advisor. I'm just going to take this foundation I'm getting on my lips. And so, which, while I'm on hold, a lot of, and I'm taking it down my neck too. While I'm on hold, I thought, oh, I'll just balance my bank statement. And then there was this unknown charge on there. So I thought, okay, I have to call on that. And turns out it was a television channel that I had subscribed to and had canceled. I had the 30 days free trial, canceled it. 5 days later, they charged me for a full year. Then there was another thing I was doing. It was like, okay, there's another phone call. So by the time I got the one phone call done, which wasn't finished, I have still to deal with that. I have like 3 more phone calls, and it's just like, no wonder I can't get caught up. So what I'm going to take is a damp blending bud, which I like to just do sometimes, and just press it, just lightly bounce it, just to make, what it does is it's just, sometimes like the makeup can sort of sit on, it just sort of smooths it. It's like a little bit more, I don't know how to describe it. Just sort of gives me a bit of a more airbrush look. Just a little bit, there we go. Now, I didn't put any foundation under my eyes because I am going to do a little bit of concealer. I wasn't going to today. Ugh, my sleeves catch on the spoolie. I wasn't going to today, but I have a little bit of redness I want to get rid of since I'm running around. So I'm grabbing a small brush because I don't want to apply very, very much. Just taking a little bit. And starting on the inside, I'm just going to swipe down and then dot up. And now I'm going to use my finger. Make sure I move this so my sleeves don't catch it. And I'm just going to, sorry about that. Let's see if no, it's as tight as I can make it. The sun's creeping in. Shouldn't be an issue when it comes to summer. So I'm just going to use my finger to press it. Kind of, let's see, roll it. Whoops. Went too close to my eye, my nail. And it's going to just brighten up that area. Sadly, there isn't anything you can do about bags. Makeup is, it can help with certain issues, but it can't fix skin issues. And bags is one of them. It can help with, like, covering scars. It can help with the fine lines and pores, but it can't take away my bags, unfortunately. I don't even like that word, bags. But what made me, as I'm dealing with all of this, now I'm going to grab a damp blending bud and just going to bounce it. You want a damp one so that it doesn't take all your product off. I hope the lighting is okay for you here. So it just lightened that up. I feel like I could use a titch more right under this eye. So it made me remember, which I'd forgotten totally about, thank goodness, is when Ken died. When somebody dies, it is just incredible the amount of red tape and paperwork and that you have to do. It was a whole year. And if anything could go wrong, it did go wrong that year. I could not believe it. And after a couple months of this, where papers went missing or, just whatever it was, I started writing everything down, and I'm so glad I did. And that's my biggest, huge tip to you, to anyone, is if you have to go through this, which I hope you never do, is keep a log, and not just write down like I wrote down who I spoke to, the time, the date, the time, why I was calling, and what was the result of the call. And I'm so glad I did, because things would go missing. They wouldn't believe me, and I would say, okay, whip out your book, and you tell them exactly who you spoke to, the time. You would be trusting them, thinking they had this in their records, and they didn't. So it didn't make me sound like I was a grieving widow. It made me sound intelligent, and I knew what I was talking about. So I remember telling a friend, like I said, I have a little black cloud. I have a little black cloud. Everything always goes wrong. Trust me. And she, one day, this was months, maybe 6 months down the road, she goes, let's go to Grand Prairie and go shopping. So we go, and I was telling her about this, and she was like, it can't be that bad, Elvie. And I said, oh yes, it is. So we went shopping, and I remember we were in, after we did we saved Costco for last, but I remember when we were in the mall, and we were in line, and the line was pretty long, and of course, the tills, they were having trouble with the till, and it wasn't, so, we only have this short window, and we got to hit the road and get back before it starts getting dark. And so what I'm doing, is you can see me, is I'm just also taking, with a dry little sponge, taking out the excess that went into the creases. There we go. And so we had this big long line, and we're in a hurry. And then, we go to the next store, then we go to, and something else went wrong. And then we went to get gas. And would you believe it? The gas station, the pumps weren't working. So we had to go to another gas station. And then before we leave town, she goes, let's go get we always would go get a London Fog at Starbucks on our way out of town. And wouldn't you know it, they ran out of the tea bags. And so she goes, you are right. You do have a black cloud following you. I got to get you home, girl. And it was just like, it's so true. And so yesterday I was like, oh, it's back. My black cloud is back. I've got all these phone calls to deal with, but it's like, I thought I was going to get caught up yesterday. Now I'm more behind. So, but today I'm going out. All right. On to, so we've just applied cream shadow. Is this beautiful dusty rose color. You could do eyeliner. I am not going to. I'm going to make this really simple. I really complicated it with my, actually, you know what I'm going to do right away? I'm going to take some setting spray right away just to set my concealer. So I'm taking a little bit of setting spray, tapping some off. I don't want very much on there, on my finger. And I'm just going to, oh, Charlene, hello, gorgeous. Set it. And I'm just wanting to tap it till it's dry. I'm just doing this extra step because concealer can tend to look cracky and cakey. And this is going to add a little bit of moisture to it as well as setting it. Actually, I do have some more little cracks, and I don't like that. Okay. I think I messed that up with my dry sponge there now. I hope the lighting is okay for you girls. Okay. And then when I go in with my powder, I'll set that again with setting powder. So now let's go on to brows. So I am going to grab my brow palette and quickly do my brows. So I'm debating, oops, I started putting a towel on my lap because when you're sitting down, I've always done my makeup standing in the bathroom, in front of the bathroom mirror, and it's such a treat to sit down. But put a towel on your lap because you don't realize it. Every once in a while, something, a little drop of makeup or something, and I hate that little light streaming in. So I'm just going to clean up my brows. It just makes such a difference too. So I'm just using the medium shade to clean up the line. And then I'm going to little like light strokes, fill it in. What's everybody else doing? Are you finding the same thing with COVID? Are you finding that things take longer? There's more lineups, there's more cleaning to do, things to contact people. Now I'm going in with the light shade. But what's the hardest is the phone calls and reaching people to deal with things. Now I'm just going to take a spoolie and just brushing up and out the way your hair grows, and just going to, there we go, sort of soften it. Now this side, that light gets in my way. Sadly, happily, I'm glad to say my little black cloud turned into a silver golden cloud 2 years ago when I decided to move here. Now that is a story in itself. Okay. I came to visit friends. I had no intention of moving. As a matter of fact, anybody who suggested I move from Dawson Creek, in the house that Ken and I bought, and we had renovated the whole house. It was our little haven. You know, not only did I not want to leave my home, but just, I was overwhelmed. Where do you begin? Like, to move, to sell off all of this stuff? I had a garage, I had 2 sheds, a basement. It was a 2,000 square foot house, fully furnished. So I came to visit friends just for a little bit of a vacation, and now I've got this weird texture under my eye here. I guess I just have on this one eye. You probably can see it. I don't know what I did. Don't know what I did. Well, when I figure it out, I'll let you know and tell you not to do that. I might have, well, I started off with a clean face, but I don't know. Anyway, so it is. Now let's do some face. Let's add some color back to our face. I'll just hold that thought. I'm going to use damask. I'm going to do a new color for bronzing, contouring. It's called damask. So because we don't have any bronzer, I'm using pressed powder foundation, and it's working really good. I will be glad when they get the bronzer in. So I'm using the tapered blusher brush, and just going to grab a little bit of, not too much, on my brush, swirl it off, and then starting at the ear, just make a gentle line towards my mouth. You can do the fishy face if you want. And actually I don't want to take too much more. And then just turn it and try to blend it in softly with a soft hand. And it's just going to add some color back. Same thing on the other side. Do a little line and then blend it. Turn my face so you can see. and just a light hand. So I came to visit, and everywhere we went, people were saying to me, like her friends, they would meet me and we were talking and they would like, you should move here, Elvie, you should move here. So, you know, you're not like, I'm like, I don't know Kamloops. The only thing I remember of Kamloops is Ken and I driving through on vacation, going somewhere else. And when we whipped through here, it's on a desert. It was there was brambles, it was brown. And Ken said, I could never live here. So because Ken said it, that was my view. I could never live here. Don't know anything about it. It's just like, no, I could never live here. So everyone is saying to me, you should move here. You should move here. But they weren't letting it stay at that. They were, you know, they were saying, come see my place. Come see my place. And so I said, no. I mean, if I ever moved, I said to them, I would never want a yard and house again. That would be the reason, is to simplify my life. So I'm going to put a little bit under my jawline and then sweep it down. And if you can even like take it right down to your chest. It's just adding a little bit of that color, creating shadow under here, which is going to, and also just sort of define our jaw a bit more, not make it so rounded. So this one friend said, oh, well, there's this other friend. Let me introduce you to her. She's got a condo. They just moved in. It's a new condo. You should check it out. So she invited me to come for tea to see it. Well, I said, I'm not interested in, I don't have to see your place. I'm not moving here, but I'd love to come for tea. So we went for tea, and then her neighbor came over with her laptop, and they were looking at if there was any, just was seeing what was under there. I have nothing under there. It was just the leg of the chair. And so I was like, couldn't believe this. So I ended up making it a matter of prayer. And I had said, I could never move here because I have no family here. I need family. So would you believe it? The next day, I do have a cousin here. I didn't realize, I knew she was in this area, but I thought she was more in Penticton. So she phones me up and says, hey, I heard you're in town. Let's go for lunch. So what does she say? The first thing, we get settled and we make our order. And then she says, so Elvie, you should move here. I just said to her, I can't believe you're saying that. So I told her what's been going on. And then she says to me, you know, my kids love you. You know you have family here. Well, I couldn't believe she said that, because that's what I'd said in my prayers. I don't have family here. I'm also creating a little bit of shadow on the side of my nose and under my lip. So then I prayed, I need another sign. So then the next day, this is no lie, my sister who lives in Africa phones me and says, hey, you're in Kamloops. You should check it out and think about moving there. So after that, she says, make a list. I told her what was going on. And so she says, Elvie, make a list, make a pros and cons list. This is a very serious decision. And she says, I'll talk to Larry about it. This is her husband. And I said, please do. I would love to talk to him, but he wasn't available. Hold that thought. Going in with blush, Sisterly, my favorite, everybody's favorite, fan favorite. It's just, and the thing about our blushes is they have a little flecks of like a shimmer in them. So they're not flat. They're not just like blog solid color. They do really add this sheen. So I'm just going to go on, swirl some off, and I'm just going to stipple it on the very top edge, top of my cheekbones, just blend it in. And it's just going to give you this soft hue of pinky. Just want to make sure I have enough color on this side too. It gets blended out a bit when we put this setting powder on. Now, I'll do that after. On to setting powder. Yeah. Okay, so I'm using the new one. I finally finished my other one. And this is the new one. It's not available on stock on our website yet, but it's coming. It was just released for like a teaser during one of the December bundles. And I've been holding off, but I just ran out. And so you have to shake it. It is this new formula where it is a water molecule encapsulated by powder. So when it goes on powder, but then it bursts and it becomes liquid. I know, and it's got this cooling effect. So I'm just going to take a little bit. This brush holds lots. And I'm just going to press it on. And especially under my eyes. Actually, I'm going to take another brush. Take some, because I just want to press that. Oop, and I took too much. I'm trying to get very little, just to press it. I'm not happy with my concealer today. I did not do a great job. Sorry, girls. I guess that happens. I'm trying to think if there was what I used in the washroom when I was putting extra creams on. Anyway, so she said, I'll let him know and we'll call you right back if he has anything to add. Well, they didn't call back. So I started making my list. And my list, my cons list to stay home in Dawson was like 2 inches long. And it was all sentimental. Like, I love my doctor, I love my hairdresser, I love my massage therapist. It was all like that, right? I love my family, I love my friends, I love my home. The list to move, the pro list, was 2 pages. So it was obvious. And then when I finally made the decision, it looks like I'm moving. My brother-in-law from Africa phones and says, you should sell. So it was just like, that's done. So this is just the beginning of this story. There's so much more. That's what I mean. Now my little black cloud turned into amazing clouds. I'm going to go in with a little highlighter. I'm using Pearly. It's very, very pretty. It's just a soft, fleshy, pinky. Goes with this soft, pinky hue day. I'm grabbing a fan brush. I'm just going to add a little bit on the tops of the cheeks. Down my nose. Cupid's bow. And it's like, it's so faint. It's just, sometimes the sun will just hit it. It's just this little bit of a sheen. There we go. Now let's go into do our eyelashes. So I've been sitting on my mascara to warm it up. I'm just going to put these brushes away. And I see something I want to fix. This must be some powder. There we go. All right, let's grab my mascara, nice and warm. I'm using Twisted. And if you're new here and you've never seen our mascara, this is my favorite mascara. And number one, it has 2 wands. You know how I've always wanted to write to companies and say, you know, if you would taper the end so we could get in close and it just would make it easier to get into your lower lashes. I didn't need to do that because look at this. They have a wand within a wand. So it's got this skinny, tiny wand within a wand because the lower part is the full wand. And it's got this like silicone bristles. So it really does help to grab on and comb. And so you really get a defined, more natural, wispy looking lash. I wish I could open my blinds. It seems like it's so dark. Did the sun move? Do we? I think so, hey? All right. Moving in. So I'm going to start. Yeah. Look at the sun. It's not my friend. It shows up all the dust. All right. Oh, that isn't a good idea. I'll have to do it back here. Hope you can see okay. Shouldn't have opened the blinds. So I'm going to start with the very base. So when I went home, I wasn't, I thought, where do I begin? So I thought, okay, first thing I got to do is start painting and getting the place ready to sell. Then my brother-in-law texted me and said, Elvie, it's like he was reading my mind. He says, don't do a thing. He says, contact the real estate agent first. Let them tell you what you need to do, because you might be doing things that are not necessary and wasting a lot of my time and money. And he says, don't wait to put your house up for sale. Do it like ASAP. So this was at the very, very, very end of June. So I didn't know who to contact for a real estate agent. And the other thing, as I'm still mulling everything over, I haven't told anybody that I'm moving other than, them, my friend up north here, or down south here. So I ended up contacting a moving company, thinking, I don't know, can I move? Can I afford? I can't see how else I'm going to do this without getting a moving company. I live with chronic fatigue. So I contacted a few different companies, and I finally found the one that I think moved us from Yellowknife to Dawson Creek. He was so good. And I thought, okay, this is not bad. This is affordable. Like, he's trying to give me an estimate. We just don't know what the situation is yet. So I thought, okay, whatever it is, that's just going to have to come off the price, like come from the funds of the sale of the house. So he gives me the name of a really good realtor. He gives me a couple names, but he's the one that he said that is really aggressive and really good. So I phoned him, and I phoned the other lady. He came, the one that was the really good realtor, came down. It was Thursday, and that was a long weekend, the July long weekend. I'm just going to take a spoolie. Just want to take some of the, there we go, some of the product off. It's a new wand, so sometimes it gives me more than I want. And he said, I'll come back. But he said, your house is a show home, ready to show. Do not do a thing. I didn't have to paint. He says, it's a long weekend. He says, I won't be back. I'm going out of town. He says, I'll be back Tuesday with your plan of action. So I knew the price I wanted for the house, but it wasn't a time to sell, really. So I just thought, okay, if I don't get this, then I'm not going to move. So he came back with the price, and it was more than what I wanted, which is above. But by the time you allow that room for negotiation, I got I think 1,500 more than what I had was my bottom line. So that worked. Everything just fell into place. So he came back Tuesday with the price. I already had people wanting to see it Tuesday. Wednesday he listed it. My house was sold by Friday. Talk about falling into place fast. Not only that, is I thought, okay, once I sell, I'm going to go down to house hunt. And the friend that showed me her condo, I know, my cousin phoned me and said, Elvie, let me just tell you the areas that you should house hunt in. And so she'd mentioned this area, which is where I saw this condo, which is the friend that I met that showed me her condo. So I thought, I'm just going to Google and just see if there's anything in those complexes. And it was just listed, this one that I'm in, just listed, no pictures. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to take it. But my friends wouldn't let me. They said, no, we're going to go see it for you. Well, meanwhile, because of that, he decided to show it. And then he said to me, I will never rent to anybody I've never met. Are you sure you can't come down? And I said I couldn't. I was looking after my uncle because my cousin they were away, and I was looking after another people's place while they were away. So I couldn't go. I said, I can go in another week. He said, no, I'm having it rented. It'll be done this weekend. So his wife phoned. So I really sold myself. And my friends went to see it. They said, yes, it's in immaculate condition. So after talking to them, I just thought, okay, you're not going to get it, Elvie. You're going to have to just, when everybody comes back, I'll just make a trip down here and go house hunting. So after my house sells, 5:30 Friday night negotiations, it was done. It was done. It was sold. He phones me at 8 o'clock. You got it. So there you go. So then I had to go like crazy, going through and purging and selling, and that's a nightmare. I was getting up at like 2 in the morning, going to bed at 2 in the morning, and then getting up at 5 because it just was so much work. And I had 2 big garage sales. I'm so pleased. My one daughter came, and her and her husband, and I'm so glad I'd already had stuff purged and priced and in boxes in the shed, because he took over the garage, and then we just started setting up everything in the garage, and we had this, and when that all sold, we just started bringing boxes and boxes of stuff that I'd already priced. So this went on, and by the time of the second garage sale, I was done. I was done. So I made it a matter of prayer, and I just said, everything has to go today, this weekend, and it did. It all was gone. So there you go. There was just a real short, very short version of how my little black cloud turned to a beautiful golden cloud. So that's why I'm here. It was chosen for me. There we go. So setting spray. I need lots. Oops, and I gotta make sure I don't touch my eyes together, or I'm gonna get mascara everywhere. I use my dollar store fan. All right. Lips. Our butters are back. I didn't even tell you girls about the sales or nothing. I'm sorry. Our lip butters are back. Now they are, what's so amazing about them is that they are like cross between a lip balm, a chapstick, and then they've got like a little bit of lipstick color, because they've got some color to them. So they are not a lipstick. So the color isn't, it's not like they're going to stay on all day, but the moisture stays on for hours. And I am so impressed. So the color I chose today is Quick Getaway. It's the second lightest. The lightest one is almost like a nude. It's very, very light. And this one gives a hint of pink. And I feel like I'm like, now okay, I might date myself a little bit. Connie Stevens, have you ever heard of Connie Stevens? Now, she was before my time, but I did have older sisters. And I remember some movies with her. She was, to me, like a Marilyn Monroe, platinum blonde, and I remember her having these pale pink lips. So as soon as I put this on, I thought of Connie Stevens. This is so soft. It's got shea butter. Okay, I'll take the clip out. My hair, see, I knew I shouldn't have clipped it. It's like, yes, that's where you want me to go. I'm going to stay there. There you go. It's such a soft look. It's got shea butter, jojoba. Yeah, see, just like that, it straightens my hair. It's like, I know. It's unusual hair. So that is, oh, it also has peppermint in them, which is, it brings the blood to the surface. Peppermint does. So it will enhance your own color as well. It improves circulation. Like peppermint has so many, it's cooling. So it's, if there's any inflammation or a bit of a fever, like, you know, heat there, it's got this cooling effect. And the smell of peppermint is actually controls your appetite. If you ever want to like not eat less, just diffuse peppermint. It's amazing. So now let me show you. Oh, and let me just tell you what the sale is this month, the January special. So when I did give you today's look, and I did the whole meal deal so that you'd get all 3 freebies. But I gave you a second link where you can go create your own bundle. So if you spend $90, you get the Twisted Mascara. And it also, the other thing I was going to tell you about this mascara is it has the same ingredients in it. Like, oh, I should have written it down. I'm terrible at remembering. It's right there, and now I forgot. The same ingredients that are in the serum to help your lashes grow is in this mascara. If you spend $150, you get this plus fan favorite, the Reverend Liquid Eyeshadow. Another, it's like today's look. It's this easy, it's more of a champagne nude. And then if you spend $210, you get the Snarky Splash Liquid Lipstick. And this, I get compliments every time I wear it. It's this Dusty Rose Brown. Not in the sun. Where do you can see it's just such a pretty color. So that, you can choose my bundle. You can remove some things if you want just to get 1, 2, or 3 items, or you can get your own, choose your own. So I am wearing from Pretty Cute Things this really cute pastel hoodie. I'm wearing a small. It's the only one that's available right now is large, and I'm also paired it with the layering tank, which this comes in this color comes in this spaghetti strap, plus the boho bras. And I just love it. You can see, soft. It's so cozy, comfy. And I've got the layering tank underneath, which I really like because, you know, as you put your hand up to reach something, I don't need anybody to see my white belly. I need to do some tanning there, tanning lotion there. But I figured nobody's going to see this belly. Nobody. Anyway, girls, I hope this was helpful for you to have a nice, fun, easy look for a Friday or a cozy day in, or a Zoom girls wine night, or whatever, or a romantic dinner with your husband. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me. Please give me some love. I appreciate it so much if you share this, or like and follow to get notified on any more. There should be I think there's 3 dots there that you can get notified the next time I go live. And you have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Stay safe.